Last we were chatting about our upheavals of Arrow. Getting ready for the season finale this week.
So,
anticipating a finale.
What was our last? What was our last episode of Arrow?
Was the blow up? Was Felicity murdering a couple thousand people?
Yep.
So, I'm sorry, that's too harsh on her. She saved millions, but
she killed thousands. Which, I don't know about you, but that all fell very short to me. Lost in the Flood. Excuse, that's the name of the episode.
Okay.
So, Lost in the Flood. I don't know about you, but that... Like, once again, because of all the emotional crap they've been doing, that fell so flat for me.
Right.
Just...
it's setting up. They got to wrap up the dark storyline. And, right now, here's the biggest saving grace for me is the fact that with the announcement of Supergirl coming to CW and with Legends of Tomorrow being picked up, the fact that there's already, road work laid down for next season, just mega, the potential for crossovers and a true DC story arc that could potentially
go through all four shows.
Which I think would be fantastic. Not just from a fan standpoint, but even just from a TV watching standpoint. Because you don't get shows, you don't get crossover TV shows, and here's
CGI Friday since Urkel showed up on every
Full House
Full House and Step by Step and
good God,
yeah. So hopefully we won't be having any of that.
Only he could show up on Arrow.
Yeah,
That's who should have done the bomb Felicity. I can save both cities, and then Steve trips or something. And, did I do that?
We thought we were hiring.
That's an amazing idea.
Yeah,
I mean, Jaleel White could probably use the work.
Right. And I'm just imagining they're like the writers for Arrow, I said Michael Jai White. I said Michael Jai. Oh. Jaleel. Oh.
Well, Michael Jai White was...
Spawn.
No, I know he was Spawn.
Black Dynamite. Gamble in the Dark Knight.
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
Who was the Tiger Claw.
Or Tiger Claw, that's right.
He was Tiger Claw in Arrow.
Yeah. Yep.
Which that would have been a hilarious mix-up if Jaleel White shows up to be Tiger Claw.
There you go.
From the Suicide Squad, nonetheless.
Right.
But yeah,
oddly enough, not in Suicide Squad, right?
Right.
I don't think there is he won't be there.
So.
Anyways, yes, Arrow, Flood.
So how do you feel about Anarchy? Because actually, I think they've actually kind of done him a solid. I kind of am digging the character a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I hate Anarchy, and the whole idea of him I think is stupid, like some little kid who likes Anarchy. But in this one, he's methodical and
right, and actually has a plan to his destruction.
He calls Thea Mom.
Right.
But that's just because she, since created him, but he has, it's really, it's weird. It's cool. That's out of all the terrible drama stuff they're doing, I think that's really one of the better things they're doing with the show is him. Right.
Although this goes back, and here's my thing is how do you find out who's not an anarchist? See who shows up to the meeting, and then it's here's anarchy, no plans. Anarchist. There should be no plans. It should just be, the moment you make a plan, you are no longer an anarchist.
Correct.
So it's how do you, no, but I'm with you. I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a turd in the punch bowl.
But no, I mean, he is a cool character. And the thing I like is that they're setting him up to be a recurring, he can show up. And the thing that was always cool with Anarchy, because he's one of those dudes that can be a faceless villain. And somebody else could show, you don't have to have that actor, and he'd be a good crossover guy too at some point. Throw him in on Flash and all that.
But, so now kind of where we're left off to is once again, spoilers, whatever. Dark's wife is dead, which I saw that coming a mile away. They saved his daughter. So now he's and they blew up his whole underground paradise, which they've been building. Well, they didn't blow it up. Freaking Anarchy blew it up.
Yeah.
Because he's an anarchist.
Yeah.
But he did use a plan, as Mike points out.
Yeah.
So, pretty much Dark's the only thing they got to wrap up, right?
They got to finish that up, and then they need to, resolve with Felicity and her dad. If
well, he kind of took off.
He took off, but it's like,
which, once again, I have such problems with the way that this show writes women.
Right.
Like, I've written some stuff before, nothing like huge or good. But I've read stuff where women are like main characters and things like that. And the stereotypical stuff that gets through on a show that's supposed to, try and being pro-woman is ridiculous. So when they're all fighting the nuclear attack,
Yeah.
I'm going to translate the IP address. I'm going to...
Yeah.
It's made up, by the way.
Yeah.
But
or is it?
Felicity's freaking mom is all of a sudden decides that the fate of the world is she needs to have a hissy fit and, and just be like a sour freaking grapes, and they save the world or whatever, they release it or they get more time, and then she just walks out of the room like a 12-year-old who just had his feelings hurt.
Yeah.
The freaking world is at stake, and she's acting like that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then they go up and they have the conversation. Mom, what's wrong? No, get back downstairs and prevent the nuclear holocaust. Her feelings don't matter.
Yeah.
Her feelings don't matter right now. She can hate your father later. We can do that later.
Yes.
But that, once again, just...
No, and that's the thing. And with Felicity's mom, that character, to me, like, the second time she showed up, it was like, oh, okay, I kind of get the gimmick. It's funny. Mm-hmm. But the way they shoehorned her in this season for comedic relief, and then even more so than last season.
I'm sorry, for what?
For comedic relief.
That was the attempt.
because it's like it's her, it's like Felicity, is supposed to be leading this big double life, and then her, her
mom,
jugged mother shows up, and it's like she's always there, and she always shows up at always the worst possible moments, and then it has to be about her, and it's like, and that character, like, to me, doesn't serve a purpose with this team, and especially like in Felicity's life, where that's her whole problem with the team is how, like, nobody, even though they're a team, nobody makes time for each other, and that her thing with, and again, it goes back to our crying rants on how it's like you're dating an effing superhero. You know what? There is no fine line.
No time off. No.
Yeah, like. You know what you're getting into. Yes, he's going to have to abandon you every once. He's going to have to stop you mid-conversation sometimes. And, because he's an effing superhero saving the world. And, but yeah, having her mom in there, it just, to me, she doesn't need to be there. And it's like, and even her parents, like, and the funny thing is like, look at how much of the season, like, I understand. I mean, she is a fan favorite, and she's quite pretty. We've established that. But it's like...
And she was a good character.
Right. And then, like, it's like, oh, we have to bring her parents, and they have to bring... In a lot of this season, it's kind of funny because all the personal turmoil of this season has all been hers.
Yeah.
And outside of Oliver's, like, oh, I had a kid, lied to protect you. We won't go into that again. But outside of... I mean, anybody else, this season, it was like... Well, obviously, I mean, Lance, losing the daughters again, and...
It should just be old hat to him at this point.
At this point, yeah. But, no, I mean, how do you reconcile that then? And we don't need... This is a world that does not need parents. It's like Neverland. Right. Green Arrow's like the Neverland of... And,
Why do you think so many superheroes are orphans?
Right.
Well,
yeah,
and
just
to point out, I think it's cool that her dad showed up and that her dad's this hacker, and
the villain.
I'm fine with that.
Right.
That her dad is kind of a villain, but he's like, kind of. It's a good villain. I'm a bad guy, but I'm not that bad of a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's got similarities between Ollie, and that's all fine.
Right.
But even like you said, the mom, she was fine her first couple of appearances, and that's funny, that her mom is the opposite of her. That her mom is very outgoing and loud and fun and things like that. But like you said, then she just became a stereotypical cliche woman.
Right.
And
I'm here. Drop what you're doing. It's time for us to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to go shopping and
go shopping and talk about boys.
Yeah.
Which normally I love.
Right. The shopping or talking about boys?
Oh, all of it.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah. We were just talking about you the other day when we were looking for new shoes.
Yeah.
Have you been down to the store to see Mike lately? The gentleman at Shields was not impressed.
Yeah.
So.
But yes. Finale.
So finale.
And we got.
I think I'm just going to pose this question to you. Are you going to watch next season? What do you want next season? And if you just saw that episode without seeing any of the other series, would you continue?
Wow. Yes, I'll watch next season because I've already given it 3 years of my life, 4 years of TV years, anyways. I expect a goatee, and I want
demand a goatee.
Like we've brought it before. I want longbow hunters. I want lone Green Arrow doing adventures. Get him out of the city. Don't bring the villains to him. Let him go on like the vigilante route. And like I would love for him to explore a little bit. And that's what always made him cool, because because he's one of the few mortal Justice League members.
Yeah.
He's the human factor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I would like to see more of that. And as they establish, I think at moving forward, I would love to see his foot in the whole superhero or metahuman aspect of things. And I'm hoping the next season they explore that some more, where, he has incredible skill and stuff like that. But the fact is that, he has to compensate for a lot. Both and him and Batman were always we're him and Batman we're always in that same category of like both of them had to, aside from both being orphans and being ultra rich.
Because what really comes to mind for me is the first episode of Justice League Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
That one where he's got to shoot the big North Korean thing, and Terrence is really, really gritted over there.
So I was talking about that show with a friend earlier today, and I was just thinking about how much I love it.
Nice.
Anyways,
it's a good show.
It's a good show.
Check it out.
And right there, how hard is it as a writer where you go, I'm not saying, steal it, but in this case, steal it. Like, because even the whole like in Justice League Unlimited, the whole Black Canary, I forget, somewhere in the middle of their it was Black Canary and Green Arrow, and it was them. They had to find a Wildcat. Wildcat had been fighting like in the in the pits,
Yep.
And they had to go down, and that was a really cool thing, because then that was an awesome episode, because it established a lot more of Canary and Arrow's relationship, and then the fact too, because that was one of those ones that like both her and Oliver, where it established that they can get hurt. Where it was like, here, we're, you're good fighters, but it's like you might not get back up, and you need to be smart, and you gotta, know your opponent and take the time. And that's what was cool about Wildcat, because he was just there to brawl, but that was always his character. He was just a big blockhead fighter. But he could teach him.
Am I supposed to fight Darkseid? Because I'm a guy in a cat suit.
But yeah, I want to see that. I want to see, more Ollie. And if they have truly written out the Canaries, then, let's have a season. I want Solo Ollie, no relationship, no kids, no. Let the next season be his. You don't want to revert back to the island stuff. And that's what I want in the next season. Be done with the island.
Yeah, you've done it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, 1 year was in Hong Kong, but
right at this point they've already in 4 TV years they have a stat like we've already seen every year, unless they are going that maybe that's the plan is 5 year 5 seasons and we'll get 5 year we'll see a year. Yeah. Maybe something else happened, but at this point, I mean.
That
that
part of the series of this season felt so tacked on to me. Like I was watching it and I was like, I don't need to watch this.
Right,
like,
and it served no purpose.
I was not invested in it. Like with the stuff with Deathstroke, like that was really engaging and gripping because like, oh, how did it go wrong? How did why were they both in love with this girl and all this stuff and. But yeah, this one is just like I know Damien Dark ends up with why.
Do we need that?
Why do we need this?
It's a bad guy. Yep. Yeah. And, well, they got Constantine in there, so
that's always good.
That helped. But I'm really hoping now. Well, we'll see. I guess with the future of Legends, and then with, Laurel being gone. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do because it's like you can't have Green Arrow without Black Canary. She has to be a part of that universe.
She's part of the mythology.
So are they gonna resurrect her or are they gonna bring
another
back
Black Canary?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But side note, if you guys caught or jumping onto the other CW Flash, you guys been keeping up on that at all?
Yes.
This season's going well. And Laura Lance. I like her in goth mode.
Yes.
That should be her outfit. Anytime.
Operation does it for me.
Yeah. I don't know, something about that black lipstick on her, man. It looked good. Like I was excited about Killer Frost. I thought, Panabaker looked pretty hot as Killer Frost.
Was her suit like green?
It looked
green to me. Like,
I don't know. It was a weird color.
In the one episode, it looked green to me. I don't.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But Flash, the finale is actually tonight, so we can't report on that. We are missing it right now, actually. Ooh. That's how dedicated we are to our podcast. So we'll watch Flash tomorrow and record our thoughts on it next week.
Yep.
And you guys can let us know what you think next month. So
let's deal with it.